Hello and welcome to today's League of Legends Roundup, where we cover all the news and games that took place in the last day in the League of Legends ecosystem as it pertains to the four major regions. You will notice there are chapters below. If you want to skip this news, you can to go to the games in the LPL and LCK respectively, as well as a sneak peek at the end. But there was a lot of news in the last day that we need to go over first. First and foremost, TSM completely blew up their roster. Hooney has all but retired. Shen was sent home. They have brought in Solo from retirement coaching to play top lane in Academy and boosted Soul to top lane in the LCS. They have, with Shen out, demoted Mia and acquired Chime from Golden Guardians to start at support and swapped Tactical for Instinct at the AD carry position. So they have blown up their roster again. Let's look over some stats. Hooney, 183, 847 CS per minute in top lane this split across 14 games, 53 KP, 19 kill share, 22 gold share. You know, he's been split pushing quite a bit this split. An 847 CS per minute, when it comes to in lane specifically in farming, he's done a really good job. But he has some wrist issues, which is no surprise. I can relate to that, even though I haven't played nearly as many games. That, you know, so when the wrists go, the wrists go. So, Soul is being called up. Soul is nowhere near ready. TSM probably should just put Solo in this weekend and say, screw it, you can go in cold. Because Soul, 739 CS per minute, 55 KP, 22 kill share. So he gets a lot of kills for his role. I mean, 22% isn't all that much, but it's more than his. It's about equal to his gold share. So he gets the amount of kills that are equivalent to his gold share. But 739 CS per minute pretty much stinks. That's bad, especially at a lower level. So I don't really believe that he's going to cut it in top lane. Now you have Solo, who went 7-6-2 with Golden Guardians last summer. 56 KP, 14 kill share, 21 gold share. Solo is more of a tank player. He will play anything. But when I think of Solo, I think more of a tank or kind of a filler on the team that kind of just does what the rest of the team isn't doing in draft and fills out the roster. Obviously, he's been to Worlds. He has experience. He probably couldn't have found anybody better off the trash heap right now. Now, at the 80 carry spot, Tactical, 897 CS per minute. No Senna games in that. 165 KDA, 53 KP, 23 kill share, and 22 gold share. So very low gold share, very low farming numbers. I mean, below 9 isn't going to cut it. I wouldn't say Tactical is exactly the problem with TSM, but TSM has a lot of problems, and I mean, he wasn't playing good. Instinct is not better, though. Instinct 739 CS per minute. Now, when I say Soul has bad CS per minute at 739 in top lane, what do you think that means for the bot lane when it's 739? And then you look and you say, well, he played 3 Senna games, he played a couple Seraphine, he played 9 champions in 20 games. Good for you that you played a bunch of different stuff, but looking at individual champions, there's only one champion with over 10 CS per minute and only a couple with over 9. If you can't farm against, like, Academy bot lanes, how is he going to farm against LCS bot lanes? So I don't really think. I mean, this is just mind-boggling. I don't think this helped them at all. Mia has left a lot to be desired. 69.4 KP, 154 KDA, 4 champions in 7 games. Shen Yi, 169, 65.9 in Academy, 10 champions in 16 games. I mean, he's alongside a bot and Instinct pretty much, so I mean, I know Shenny plays a way that an LPL style that TSM just simply could not get on board with. Um, I mean, there's press statements out today about the moves and things like that, and I mean, I just think they couldn't. They acquired a player that they could not utilize properly. So, if like I said, if Mia is demoted, Shenyi is out. They had to find a support. Yursen evidently is inactive or something. So Chime 269 KDA 72-3 KP, 9 champions in 20 games in Academy for Golden Guardians. So he gets a promotion, he gets acquired. We'll see if Chime can save Instinct. I really am not betting on it, but TSM are once again in shambles, and I do not expect much out of them the rest of the way. Ultra Prime end up calling up Mia New, and he ended up playing in Game 2 today against EDG, which we'll get to, and he struggled a lot. So, in LDL, 266 KDA, 74-4 KP, and played 5 champions in 10 games. That was to put pressure on Chelsea, which evidently they did not like how Chelsea played in Game 1. Like I said, they ended up swapping. 189 KDA, 69 KP, and 7 champions in 17 games. I think Chelsea is fine in bot lane with Elk. I think Cryant's fine. I think Jungle is a problem. Hacker, I don't think, is really all that good. So, I don't really think this move does much. And obviously, in the result, it didn't do anything. Team We end up recalling View and Kadaya, 2 players that played for them in spring that they sent down. They gave Bishang the starting spot in jungle in summer and brought in Heal for support. View in the LDL has put up over a 10 KDA, 583 CS per minute, 78 KP, so he is dominating in the jungle role. 21-9 kill share, 19-3 gold share, 4 champions in 9 games. He has done a great job, and he deserves a call-up because Bishang in the LPL, 214, 483, I mean, under 5 CS per minute is incredibly low. If you're not even pulling 5, you have to have like 75 KP or more, which he has 79, but still, 483 is not good enough. It is not, and he gets 20% of the kills, but only 17% of the gold because he can't farm. He's getting gapped in the jungle matchup outright. Kadaya, he played 2 games with the LPL team this split, did not play any LDL games, did not do all that well in them. And then you have Heal, who went 1.9 KDA, 70 KP, 7 champions in 16 games. I mean, do what you got to do if you're Team We. You're like, what, they're 0-8 or 0-7? So they are in a place where they need to figure things out once again, like they did in spring. Hopefully they realize, we'll see how View does. I thought View was better than Bishang in spring. I don't think either one did great, but I thought View did better. So, we'll see if they win a couple games or something with this. And lastly, LNG call up Panda C. Panda C has played in 24 games in Academy in the LDL this split. 317, or maybe this could have been in spring. I think it might have been in spring. I don't think I don't know. Never mind. I think that was just Kadaya. 317, KDA under 8 CS per minute, which you'd like that to be higher. However, he did participate in 60% of fights, more of a team fight oriented top laner. So that is a thing. He's not really farming in the side lane by himself without, any worry about having to be constantly fighting and being around the team. So there's that. But if you're putting up below 8 numbers in an academy system, I don't expect you to do that well with the big boys. Ale, 816 CS per minute, 278. KDA, 61. KP, 19 kill share, 21 gold share. I think this is a situation where LNG have problems in jungle and mid with their players inting, and they don't want to do anything about it because they have 2 elite players there. It's not like the team is bad. The team is a playoff team, but it's not performing the way it should. And I don't think Ale is really the issue. I think it is getting these players on the same page, and if they can't be on the same page, this offseason they have to move one of the 2 stars. This is just not working. I don't think Light's a problem. I don't think Lamau was a problem. Iwandi has outplayed Lamau recently, but I don't think Lamau was the problem either. So, LNG falling apart. Speaking of falling apart, let's get into the LPL games for today. LGD and BLG. BLG would win 2-1 in the matchup of bottom feeders. Bin would go 16, 8, and 9 in this one. He had a 10 kill Aurelia game, I believe in game 2. gave them a 29% damage share for Bin. Fofo would come in after Icon played in game 1 and lost. Fofo would come in game 2 and play in game 3, going 6-2 and 17 overall. Yagag in mid for LGD went 8-5 and 12 and led the way with what I believe to be 26 damage share. EDG and Ultra Prime. EDG would dominate them 2-0. Viper going 19-6 and 9. JJ 7-2 and 21. They had a pretty even, well, I wouldn't even say even. Scout had like 30% of their damage, but he didn't, I think he went like 4-2 and 22 or something, so I didn't end up listing him, but Scout had most of their damage. Elk 3-4 and 3. Nobody on Ultra Prime went positive when it came to kills and deaths, and Elk had 26% of the team's damage. LCK, HLE versus T1. T1 would get by HLE 2-1 in a 3-game series. That actually was pretty damn close. Guma went 10-3 and 14 in the 3 games. Keria would have 81% KP for the squad. A lot of the power coming through bot lane as they fought through quite a few pauses. Chioni ended up playing for HLE, and I think he went 7-7 and 14. Doodoo led the way for HLE, however, going 9-5 and 8 with 29% of the team's damage. Doodoo played a good 3-game series. Zayas has been stringing together. I mean, last week I had him as a star of the week, but there have been quite a few games this split where Zayas has struggled. In matchups you'd think he would do much better in. Gen.g versus Sandbox, both in my power rankings, top 17. Tomorrow my power rankings will come out for the... Oh, well, actually, let's rephrase this. My power rankings for the minor regions come out later today, the top 10. And then the big power rankings come out tomorrow, where Gen.g and Sandbox may or may not be updated. I mean, I don't know where they're going to finish. We have a few more games to go still. So Gen.g 2-0, Ruler 14-3 and 13 in the series, 79% KP, 30% of the damage share, and went over 800 damage per minute. I want to say nearly 850. Very dominant. Doran 7-2 and 10. Dove 6-4 and 2 in top lane, with 31% of Sandbox's damage. Game 1 for Gen.g was finished in under 20 minutes. They ended with a Rift Herald killing the Nexus turrets. That's how dominant Game 1 was for Gen.g. Stars of the day, like I said, Bin had a 10-kill game. JJ I went over. He was dominant, 7-2 and 21. Fofo did great. Viper did great, and so did Mako. Mako, I believe, only died once in the 2 games. LCK, it's dominated by Gen.g players. Doran, Peanut. I will say that I feel like the jungle role in the LCK today was kind of weak. Peanut did well, but at the same time, I felt like Owner and Onfleek really didn't do all that much. And Krakow obviously struggled. Faker, the mid lane also was not overly abundant with like tough. I mean, it was a tough decision because nobody was clearly great today in mid lane in the LCK either. So Faker gets it. I think he went like 7-5 and 12 or something like that. Ruler and Lahens in the bot lane did great for Gen.g. Handed Zeri Yumi game 1 and then Ezreal Yumi in game 2. If you give Lahens a Yumi, he's going to dominate you, and that's what happened. So Gen.g move on to 8-1, and Sandbox fall to 6-3. So we'll see how that affects the power rankings tomorrow, if at all. Now on to the sneak peek. Now for our 4 games tomorrow, we have the LPL and LCK. Remember, the Discord link is in the comments. I mean, not in the comments, in the description, where you can come join and you can make predictions in the thread that I have there. I also check these videos for now as people try and assimilate, or if you don't want to go to Discord, that's fine. Today we talked a lot about the Gen.g and Sandbox series. I mean, we talked about all the games, so if you want to take part in that, join in. Anyone's Legend versus Thunder Talk, 2 teams in the power rankings, very closely ranked. Anyone's Legend 5-3, Thunder Talk 3-4. The algorithm loves Thunder Talk. We'll see after this series how it looks, but it loves Thunder Talk. And honestly, Thunder Talk have played great League of Legends. Anyone's Legend beat Ultra Prime 2-0. Thunder Talk beat IG 2-1. Last time they played was week 3, day 2. Thunder Talk winning 2-1. Puff going 13-8-11. You may say, why did you say Puff? Well, Thunder Talk's entire roster And week 3, day 2 is not what they played last series against IG. Frigid, I don't even know where Frigid is anymore, to be honest with you. He might be in another region. Um, Top is not there anymore. New, I don't. I think New is a free agent. Um, who is in mid? Captain, I don't know where Captain is. And Puff and Southwind are both like on. I mean, we're injured and Southwind isn't playing because Puff isn't playing. So I'm gonna write down Puff and we'll see if Puff plays today. I did not look at the LPL fan club to see if they have posted the rosters, but nevertheless, it's Forge versus UCal. Everything for anyone's legend has went through Forge. Betty did very well in their last series, but Forge has definitely been the main catalyst for their success. And UCal's had an underrated split. I mean, I talk about Beshwan a lot, but UCal has done well also. Victory 5 versus IG, two separate ends of the spectrum. Victory 5 first in the power rankings, IG 1 and 7. Last time Victory 5 played, they beat EDG 2-0. Like I said, IG lost to Thunder Talk 2-1. Last time they played was week 4, day 4. Victory 5 winning 2-1. Rookie went 9-3 and 11 in that series. I am watching Karpsa versus June. If it's Zhao Lao Bao, it's Zhao Lao Bao. But nevertheless, I say it every time IG plays. Everything goes through June. Without June, it's nothing. Zika did okay in their first series against Rich, but that was because of side laning and Tryndamere. I don't think that that's viable anymore. So we'll see what IG does. LCK, KT, and DRX 3 and 5 versus 5 and 3. KT coming off of a 2-1 loss to Kwangdong. DRX coming off of a 2-0 loss to Gen.g. Last time they played was week 7, day 3 of spring. DRX winning 2-0. Zika going 17-8 and 8. He had a 10 or he might have had even more than 10 kills on Nakali in that series. So we'll see how DRX does following this loss to Gen.g as they try and get even with Sandbox again. I'm looking at aiming versus deft. I think KT, everything is through aiming right now. When they're losing, aiming is still doing well. I mean, I said it in my Monday top players or performers in each region for the last week. Aiming's putting up great numbers even in losing efforts. And then you have deft on the other side. I feel like it's pretty much the top lanes. I mean, not the top lanes. Good God, the bot lanes that people want to watch. That I want to watch at least. Damwon versus Kwangdong, 5 and 3 versus 4 and 4. Despite the records on paper, these teams definitely are not the same. Damwon continue to disappoint, and KDF are doing what you'd think they would do. So Damwon lost to HLE. I mean, beat HLE the last series 2-0. Kwangdong lost to beat KT 2-1. Good God Almighty. Week 6, day 3 was the last time they played. Damwon winning 2-0. Showmaker going 7-0 and 14 in that series. I'm more concerned with Nugri versus Keen. Excuse me. Keen, one of the best top laners in the world. Whenever you have a guy versus an elite top laner on both sides, you do want to watch it. So hopefully we do not get a Sejuani versus Nar matchup. Give us things that are interesting in top lane. Because, I mean, honestly, it's KDF's best chance. I mean, well, actually, that's a lie. I think KDF, well, I'm not a big fan of Moham. I know they did very well in their last series, but I think that was draft gap more than player gap. So I'd like to imagine that DK doesn't let that happen. But so go to the Discord if you want to predict or predict down below. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Like I said, later today I will have my minor region power rankings out.